everyone, from Dunrovin Ranch in Lolo, Montana. Today I'm here with two of my very best friends who started a group called the Giddy Up Girls, inadvertently, that is. How did it all start, Pearl? I'm going to ask you to tell.
Hello. Well, about 9 years ago, my friend over here, Peggy, who I went to high school with, called and said they need one more person for a horse trip. And I thought, well, that sounds like fun. I was on a horse 12, 15 years ago. Let's see what goes. And we went into the Bob Marshall Wilderness, had a fabulous time, and Suzanne has not been able to get rid of us since.
Nor do I want to. And I would love to have you, Peggy, tell us about some of the adventures that we've shared.
Oh my gosh. We have been everywhere. We even have a song that says that. We've been everywhere, man. We have been to the Teddy Roosevelt Ranch. We have been to Holland Lake. We have been, of course, to the Bob. We've been to Lincoln and all over that area. We've been to Anaconda area. We've been to... What am I? Oh, the Pryors. We went to some of us went to the Pryors and to Rygate, where we herded cattle, if you can imagine that. We just have been all over the state of Montana and have had a wonderful time. And as Suzanne always tells us, we're going to love it. And even with trepidation, even when she says that we're going to have our horses tuck their back and slide down a hill, which, by the way, we refuse to do, we always have a wonderful time.
Okay, so I'm known for surprises on these trips. Do you want to talk about a couple of surprises that surprised you?
All right. Well, there are many. How long is this broadcast? Well, one, see, some of us are from, oops, hey, wait a minute. Back. Okay, stay. Some of us are from the East Coast, such as myself, and I had never held a gun in my life. Well, Suzanne at a live auction had drunk too much, and she bought a firearms and cigar ATF weekend, we called it. So we went to a firing range, and we shot everything from a pistol up through an AK something or other, AR-15, and the scary thing was, even I, who had never held a gun before, was able to hit a target something like, I don't know, 150 yards away. I had not touched a gun since, but it was a very interesting thing. Another time, Suzanne organized a gourmet dinner for us in the middle of nowhere. This dinner was packed in by pack horses. It was snow on the ground. We were tired. We were moving. Whiskey? Whoa. Back. Okay. Anyway, we had this unbelievable dinner with beef tenderloin stuffed with lobster in the middle of nowhere. And those are just two of the surprises that I shall share. Margaret? Oh, ATF. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Pearl talked to you about the ATF surprise. Well, the first part was the firearms, and then we went back to Missoula and went to the Rhino Bar and walked through the bar, to the alley, where there was a table set up with a white linen cloth, and we had 4 different kinds of very expensive scotch and cigars. It was incredible.
Yeah, this is the Montana way. When you're out on vacation, you have to try new and different things. I also want to say that all these gals went up to a group of Ringing Rocks and did an orchestra. It was really bad, really bad. And one of the guys who's been really instrumental in getting these gals to the point where they are with their horsemanship is Brandon. Come on, Brandon. Everybody knows Brandon, who's been around us for any time. He's done teletraining, and he's been here a number of years. And you always hear us talk about Tennessee walking horses. Well, his family has been involved in Tennessee walking horses for many years. Why don't you give us a little history, Brandon?
Well, my great-great-grandpa Grog was a caveman, enjoyed his first horse, not to ride, but to eat. So it kind of started there. We joke about that, but it's literally from a family, generations of gaited horse or horsemen of all sorts. And then in the last 4 or 5 generations have had a lot of gaited horses before there were any really gaited separate breeds like Tennessee Walkers or Foxtrotters or Rocky Mountains, you name it. It was just, a gaited horse was a gaited horse in the Civil War.
So tell us what a gaited horse is, and then maybe you could demonstrate.
I can demonstrate. Sure. Well, I can poorly demonstrate. A gaited horse is a horse that possesses the ability to not just trot after a walk. A walk is a slow, just a walk, what we all know as a horse just moving along slowly. And then you can kick that horse up into a little faster speed, which then they trot. And a trot is fairly rough on non-gaited horses. And then you can go into a canter or lope, as we call it in the west of the Mississippi. So a gaited horse is a horse that will do something other than that trot. They can still trot, but they will do a higher speed gait that is a walk, that as they progress, there are different types of walks within that. There's a walk where you have both legs moving at the same time on the same side as a pace, and then that progresses to a stepping pace, which is a little bit broken. It's a little bit smoother because you don't have just 2 legs going from side to side. You have 3 legs on the ground at all the time. And then that becomes more towards an even 4-beat gait, which is a running walk, or different breeds have different signatures for that gait. And then you progress even beyond that towards the trot, where you have a foxtrot, where the legs are moving from the left front and the right hind at the same time. Instead of lateral, they're now diagonal in movement. And they put down the front slightly before the hind. That's a foxtrot. If they do both at the same time, that's your trot. So you have all of these intermediate gaits, as well as what's called a rack, where you have 1 foot on the ground, and the rest of them are one's coming up, one's about to set down. So you have 1 foot on the ground all the time, and that is a very high-speed type of movement. Somewhat unstable, but it is still something other than a trot. So you have all of these different breeds that'll do intermediate gaits, a different speed, and the most important thing is they're smooth, very smooth.
So let's get a demonstration here, and I'll excuse the giddy-up girls so they can go and take their horses back and feed them lunch. Okay, thank you so much, Peggy and Pearl. Thank you. Okay. Stay west of me, okay, Brandon? Stay west of me. I'm a barrier for the camera, all right?
All right, so over here?
Yeah, up in here. Okay, now that's a regular walk. Now he's getting into a running walk, kind of a slow running walk. And you can see it's how smooth it is. Watch his head. It's very, very smooth, and they can cover an enormous amount of ground with this beautiful running walk. Show them a lope then. Can you show them a lope? Now, all horses can lope. Not yet, not quite. He's liking his walk. This is a young horse, Mystery, as you all know, and in fact, he was bred at Brandon's ranch. He needs a little bit more. There we go. There's a lope. Kind of a rocking horse lope. There you go.
And we'll give you a little bit better demonstration of a really good walk.
A really good walk. Okay. You can see that the front feet are quite animated in a running walk for the horse, Tennessee walking horses. And their head bobs. The head bob is kind of an indication that they are in the walk as their head bobs up and down. But your head stays nice and square. He has a lovely walk. Okay. When you come by here again, I'm going to count the footfalls, that nice even 4-beat gait. And I think people can hear them as you come by. So come by close to me here so people can hear the 4-beat gait. And that's one of the ways in which you know that you've got your horse when you're first, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's what makes it so smooth, is that 3 of the 4 feet are on the ground at all times. We're delighted to have the Giddy Up girls here. We're just starting an adventure. We're going to head up to northwestern Montana for a few more days. And I'm really glad that you joined me to get to know these wonderful women. They've become incredible friends over the past 9 years. And of course, Brandon will be back for other horse events and for more teletraining.
Okay. So, yeah, I tried to go through a variety of the gaits there. You can see that they were mixed up. Some walk, some pacing, a little bit of trot there, here and there. But tried to get more down to a really fine, nice, even 4-beat gait. The high-speed stuff, it's a little tight in here to get a good lope out of him, but we got a little bit out of him, and then got a pretty poor stop. But we made that happen, and so it kind of gives you an idea of the variety. It takes a trained eye to really be able to see those as they're happening, but you can certainly see the changes between them if you were watching. So.
And oftentimes, at some point we'll have Brandon back and just kind of focus on the gait. And what Brandon has done in the past is put different colored socks on the horses with Velcro, or not Velcro, vet wrap. And then you can really see clearly, more clearly. And he'll put it on the diagonal, for example, pink and then green, and so you can see them come down at the same time, etc. So thank you for joining us. It's a lovely afternoon here in Lola, Montana, and we're getting ready to head out early in the morning, and I appreciate your coming by to visit us. Bye.